Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Accidental Mentor. I'm your host, Charlene Garrett, and this is the last episode in our 2024 series of Mentor Minutes. These are short, insightful episodes where I share lessons and stories from my own life and from those who've shaped my path. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with all of our latest episodes. Your support means the world to me. So today, as we release this episode on Election Day, I want to discuss a topic that's incredibly relevant and important: leadership. You may remember that I work at the Warren Bennis Leadership Institute, but even before that, I helped start a leadership consultancy. I am a leadership and executive coach, and I have taught the theory of leadership at Vanderbilt. So I think a lot about leadership. There are lots of definitions of leadership out there, but I really want to hone in on a couple of things that I've learned and connect that a little bit to where we are right now. So over the years, I've learned that leadership isn't confined to roles or titles. It's about outcomes, right? Direction, alignment, and commitment. Terms that resonate deeply with me, thanks to a framework from the Center for Creative Leadership. Leadership is often mistaken for merely holding a position of power, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It's about setting a clear direction, knowing where you're headed, ensuring alignment so everybody understands their role and works together, and fostering commitment and mutual responsibility for the group and for the group's goals. You know, when I was a tour guide in Washington, D.C., I would go to the FDR Memorial often, and I learned a lot about FDR. I was really interested in him. First of all, I want to tell you, if you go to D.C., if you haven't been there, this memorial is beautiful, especially in the spring at night when the water is on. So that's really just in the spring usually. But I highly recommend going through this memorial. It is fabulous. So I would like to tell you a little story to give some example of DAC. I really think that this is a great picture of direction, alignment, commitment in action, leadership in action. So picture this. It's 1933, and America is in the grip of the Great Depression. The economy has crumbled, people have lost their jobs and homes, and hope seems distant. Then Franklin D. Roosevelt steps into office and in his inaugural speech offers a powerful message. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, he says. His words cut through the despair, setting a clear direction for the country. Roosevelt envisions a path forward, a new hope, through bold government action that he calls the New Deal. This isn't just a plan, it's a promise to the American people that recovery is possible. But how do you make that vision a reality in the face of such chaos? Roosevelt's administration mobilizes on a grand scale, aligning dozens of new programs and agencies under the New Deal. Initiatives like the Civilian Conservation Corps and the Works Progress Administration don't just offer jobs, they build infrastructure and restore public spaces. From federal agencies to local governments, there's a remarkable level of alignment across the country. And through his fireside chats, Roosevelt speaks directly to the American people, giving updates, explaining complex policies, and making them feel like a part of the mission. This alignment of people, programs, and purpose keeps the country moving in the same direction. Finally, imagine the level of commitment that is required, from government officials working around the clock to citizens who found purpose and pride in rebuilding their communities. Roosevelt's vision inspired such a deep commitment that it reshaped the American spirit. People across the nation, despite hardship, believed in the promise of a better future. They showed up day after day, contributing to this massive effort, committed to Roosevelt's direction and aligned in purpose. Through Roosevelt's leadership, the New Deal became a nationwide movement. His clear direction, the alignment of programs and agencies, and the public's commitment to recovery pulled the country through one of its darkest times. Roosevelt's story is a powerful example of DAC, direction, alignment, commitment, in action, a testament to how leadership can move an entire nation. I want to say that again. Leadership can move an entire nation. Think about our current state of leadership in the United States, 2024. Do we have a clear direction as a nation, as one nation? Are our efforts aligned? Do we genuinely commit to collective success? Like to our entire group, big US, not little factions and groups? Sadly, the answers are often no. We see more power struggles and less collaboration, fostering division rather than unity. We are very split, and leaders who can unite more of us by focusing on what we have in common versus what separates us are the leaders we need today. I say leaders because it's not just about the president or even our elected officials. There are lots of leaders in this country, including you. We are leaders. We can do the next needed thing, as Sharon McMahon says, to lead and be the country, be the people in the country that we want to be together. Leadership is having power with people, not over them. True leaders inspire, influence, and guide others without resorting to control and dominance. The sentiment echoes my experiences and the wisdom of Joyce Meyer, who said one time, everybody's a leader, even if you're just leading your dog. Leadership starts with yourself. It's about self-awareness, self-control, self-leadership. You know, a significant part of leadership, as I said, is self-leadership. It involves knowing yourself, your values, and your purpose. We've talked a lot about this on this podcast. My work with Warren Bennis Leadership Institute has emphasized the importance of self-awareness. Understanding your strengths and weaknesses and core values is crucial. You know, you may not know who Warren Bennis was. I didn't for years, but he was a pioneering scholar, a thought leader in the field of leadership. He was known for his influential work on leadership, self-awareness, and authentic people-centered leadership. Warren Bennis himself spoke about the need for leaders to reflect and engage in self-examination. You know, a quote that I think is relevant today from Warren is, true leaders understand that leadership is not about them, but about those they serve. It's not about exalting themselves, but about lifting others up. So as you cast your vote today, remember that you are a leader. Voting is an act of leadership. It's about making choices that reflect your values and what you believe is best for the greater good. When I voted early, which I voted this last week, I was thinking about this. I was thinking, who am I serving with my vote? Who am I lifting up? Am I just lifting up myself and my own interests, or am I lifting up maybe those who haven't had a voice in the past? Am I reflecting my own values? Am I experiencing that? And, you know, policies don't equal values sometimes. So I had to really think through that. What am I doing? And I made a thoughtful, intentional vote. So what do we do after tonight? I hope that we will know tonight who's elected, but history says we may not know tonight. We may know in a few days. But regardless, after the election, no matter which side you're on, the winning, quote unquote, or the losing side, it's crucial to lead with compassion and empathy. If your chosen candidate wins, celebrate with humility and reach out to those who are disappointed. If your candidate loses, continue to engage and advocate constructively. Leadership is about fostering a community where we support each other despite our differences. You know, this brings me to a personal note. Due to my current capacity, as I mentioned in last week's episode, and the responsibility of caring for my mom, this will be our last episode of the year. It's been a challenging and a beautiful time, and I appreciate you understanding. I hope to launch season 2 sometime in 2025 and continue this journey with you. So, why do I share these mentor minutes? Why am I doing this whole podcast called The Accidental Mentor? Because leadership in all its forms is deeply impactful. Whether in your professional career, at home, or within your community, principles like direction, alignment, and commitment can transform how we work and live together. Self-leadership and self-awareness are fundamental to this transformation. To quote Brené Brown, who I've been listening to recently, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. Be clear in your intentions, directions, and commitments. Lead with integrity and empathy. Please share your thoughts and experiences about leadership on my blog at charlenegarrett.com/blog/mm13. The link will be in the show notes. Your stories and insights are invaluable, and together we can learn and grow. Thank you for joining me today. Reflect on what leadership means to you, and let's work towards a more collaborative and respectful future. Stay tuned for more Mentor Minutes as we explore critical themes and grow together as a community. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you next year in 2025.